visa plan for them. The categories of what and what and what. Okay, we need this, and that. And let's design the visa categories for them. We need just 100,000 of them in a space of 2 years. Now they will announce it. What is the monetary value? How are we going to sponsor? How are we going to fund this project? 100,000 trained immigrants from Nigeria, because this is going to take a lot of administrative processes and all of that. Don't worry, they will pay for it. Nigerians will pay, and then we'll even make profit. France, Germany, Europe, America, UK, we are not going to pay a dime. Okay, so here it is. 100,000 of them. Tell them that first they need a visa, then that visa fee is this, then they need this so and so. But if they want their visas processed very fast, now they will pay extra as well. So at the end of the day, we are looking for 100,000, but we should expect 1 million application. As the modern day slavery, as you can put it, right? So they only need 100,000. So those of you, 1 million of you that will apply for that visa, 900,000 of you are going to be denied, but they are not going to refund the money they took from you for that visa. No penny will be refunded. Now, by so doing, they will have enough money to process the application and set the system in their country and install that 100,000 they want to bring to their country. They will now place them in a strategic sector of their economy where they wanted them to go to. And once the business is done, right, it's okay. Sometimes they get so happy that they could get away with all of this, that you deny people visa, then you keep the money. You have a space for 100,000 visas, but you are taking 1 million application. You know what you are doing, and you can just deny them, and the government of that country will see you, right? Cargo millions of dollars, millions of euros out of their country that has been squeezed from their poor people who wanted to japa and get out of that system. So they know your system very well. They come for talent hunting in Nigeria all the time. Yeah, it's like looking at, and when you go to scrap yard, some people will look at scrap yard and be like, oh, junks, dirty stuff, useless. Others will look at a junkyard and be like, almost see money. If I begin to, let's start from this part. Let me start from the combustion in the engines alone. Let me begin to take those ones out. That one alone that's exactly how they are treating Nigeria. It is like a junkyard. So the rest of the world knows. Okay? So as they are offering to say they are helping you, they are milking you, because they know the criminals in charge of Nigeria, that's what they are doing to you. And you will do anything and everything to get out of that place. So who's going to help? Again, he was calling on the criminals who actually made this happen, right? And every now and then, these embassies, in Nigeria today, embassy ambassadors, they visit politicians at home. And now you will see them. They say, we are here to come and say hello. Oh, my ambassadors of embassies in Nigeria, ambassadors of countries, they visit, even for Food Kayode, FFK. For Food Kayode, they receive ambassadors. Ambassador Israel, ambassador Palestine, ambassador Jordan, ambassador this and that, ambassador UK. It's like business as usual. Pally them, they will look away while we make their citizens. At the same time, while we also help them with the brain drain. They look at your application like, wow, this one is an expert. Pediatrician, an expert. Wow. They know institutions in Nigeria, that trains Nigerians on different kind of sort of skills. Whether you want to go into medical, or you want to go into engineering, they know them. All these foreign countries. So whether, I mean, the most you can do to get out of this is what? Uproot the system. They will respect you. They are stealing our resources. No, they are not. They are making deals with the rogues who are kind of helping them to take your resources away from Nigeria and Africa generally. They are not stealing. They didn't just batch in. Do you think all those Chinese, they said, oh, we arrested some Chinese illegal mining? Do you really think? They just washed, they just packed their bag from Shengu, Abi, Shenzhou or something, I don't know. In China, they just packed their bag from their village. They just look on the map and say, oh, Ede Oshu, Nigeria. And they just bought a plane ticket, flew to Nigeria, bought some equipment, and they started drilling your mineral resources. Is that what you think? So these guys knows everybody is just treating Nigeria like as a junkyard. Go there and get whatever you can. No, it did there yafu. If na human being you want to take out, give them visa. Now them go pay for it. They will pay for everything. They will pay to come to that place and work whatever you want them to do. That's what we have right now. The world doesn't respect Nigeria or Nigerians simply because you do not even respect yourselves. The rogues in charge of Nigeria doesn't have any respect for you. And the world knows. The world knows. This guy's story.
Amos Nicholas Amos lórúkọ mi.
Kí lẹ ń ṣe ní Ìbàdàn?
Mo wá láti Ìlọrin láti wá ṣe security ní Ìbàdàn. So ìjọ́ mẹ́ta tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ nínú ilé ẹ̀, wọ́n wá jí mọ́tò gbé bí wọ́n ṣe gbé mi lọ sáàgòdì mi. Ọdún mẹ́rin mo lò ní Àgòdì.
Ọdún mélòó?
Ọdún mẹ́rin.
Lẹ lò l'Àgòdì. Báwo ló wá release yín?
Wọ́n release mi lánàá.
Ẹ̀pọ̀lẹ́ kí ibo lẹ ń lọ báyìí?
Ìlọrin ni mo fẹ́ padà.
Ìlọrin mọ bí kankan bá ní. Ibi tẹ́ wà yìí Àgòdì lẹ wà yìí o. Gbogbo bíbà yìí Àgòdì ló ń pe bíbà yìí. Àgòdì gate. Ṣé gbọ́? So tẹ́ bá fẹ́ wọ mọ́tò Ìlọrin báyìí ẹ máa lọ sí Ìwó road. Ìwó road. A máa gún yín wọ̀ kadà ń bíbà yìí ẹ máa wọ mọ́tò Ìwó. Ẹ̀pọ̀lẹ́ ẹ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o.
Wọ́n á pe áńkù mi. Ìgbà tí mo pe áńkù mi ní pé níbo ni màmá lọ́mọ ní Ìbàdàn pé mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ security ní Ìbàdàn bọ̀. Wọ́n á jalè ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n ti jí mọ́tò. Bó ṣe ní pé kí n má pè wọ́n náà nìyẹn. Ó ti pọ̀ tù láti gbà yẹn. Mo pè é.
Ọmọ ìlú wo ni ẹ? Ìlọrin náà ni.
That young man said he found a job 4 years ago in Ibadan. He's from Ilorin in Kwara State. 3 days into the job, they robbed the house and they stole a vehicle. His new employer arrested him and took him to the police. From there, it was kind of, they arrested him for being responsible for that stolen vehicle or robbery. He said he called his uncle at the time to say, oh, I just started a new job and they robbed the place. I have been arrested. And he asked him, where are you? He said he's in Agodi. He's in Ibadan. And the uncle told him, don't ever call me again, ever. And that was the last time. Every time he kept trying to call and call, he never got him. So he got released yesterday. Oh, sorry. Just last weekend, because today is Monday. And he was trying to find his way back to Ilorin. That's when those guys saw him. He was released 4 years after that. No trial, no nothing, but yeah. And he was released to find his way. That is Nigeria. Now, have you ever listened to whenever the tribal bigots, whenever they are discussing restructuring, and then they just have to tell us about how everyone should be very careful of the Igbos, the Igbophobias. I'll share one with you. So there was this space where people were discussing about restructuring Nigeria. But somehow, this set of bigots who are non-Igbos, they seem to be so worried about the Igbos that they kept repeating all of their usual, the usual sort of lies that you've heard. Some of them coming from the place of hatred, jealousy, and others. I choose to share this with you today, not because I want you to feel good about yourself as an Igbo man or woman watching me. No, far from it. It is just to help those who are also non-Igbos to see how much the vision is in the heart of some of these older guys in Nigeria against one another, but somehow, people are more united. You see, I'm talking about when bigots are more united against one tribe, not because they like themselves, right? Or if it is about going after the Igbos, for now we can be friends. Yeah, let's be friends for now. Kind of, right? But we are not friends, though. If I have a chance, I go shoot you too. Kind of. So that's what I want to show to you. These guys were supposed to be discussing restructuring in Nigeria. And this is what they were discussing. I kind of put it together. It is cringy, it can be annoying. And it's about 6 minutes. I want you to please listen. It is going to be like a belly turning. Of course. But the message behind this is to show to you a divided country that people are lying to themselves that it's going to work, but it won't. From one tribe to another, from one ethnic nationality to another, Nigeria is a place whereby if a chance is given, we just can't wait to kill ourselves. And that's why they said, if Nigeria should have any second civil war, it won't survive it. But the politicians are pushing us there by pushing narrative of rhetorics that are divisive, united against the Igbos. Not because we are friends, we just have to unite. The Igbos. You see, are you talking about the Igbos? That's what they do. That's what they did in 1967. That was why Ojukwu did this one in 19 Kinikon. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that they like themselves. So. They do not. Especially when you see Edo people becoming so emotional in such a way that you're like, what really happened between Edo people and Igbo people? Anyway, listen to these bigots having a chat about restructuring Nigeria. Please, you are warned. Edo, these are sort of the horrible kind of humans that exists in that contraption, and they are very loud. They will tell you it's true. Oh, that's a very good history. That's a yeah. Break up that contraption and save your children from this miserable contraption that you do not want broken. And at the same time, you do not want the Igbos in it. IGBOPHOBIA.
I was troubled about that guy's personality.
Troublemaker.
But guess what? Yeah, guess
really.
what? The Igbo man sees Okonkwo as what a typical man should be.
But you know the good thing. You know the good thing
uncontrollable
about
temper, fierce in his attitude, quick to make decisions. That's the man. That's the personality of the man. They are trying to. They feel an ideal man should be.
But
that's one of the reasons why someone like Ojukwu will be considered a hero. If Ojukwu was a Yoruba man, we will not. In fact, they will wipe out his ancestors' stories.
Do you know what Ojukwu himself said?
How do you lead a people to that kind of reckless war? And then you go to a life of comfort, and you're now showing pictures of you with beautiful girls in comfort. And then you come back from exile to go back to meet the enemies you incited your people to that kind of death.
Saying that, first and foremost, Mr. Bukumi, I get your point when you say the Yoruba people playing this big brother role or something. You understand? You shouldn't you shouldn't be scared to play certain roles if you are big. That is what I would say. If you are big, you shouldn't be scared to play certain roles. And knowing that, waiting touch A, fit touch B, if care is not taken. You understand? There is supposed to be a synergy and a unity between, the southern bloc in terms of, the southern people and the southwestern people to form a united front. Because I said something on a speech yesterday. I said, God forbid that this Biafra thing becomes a reality. The first thing they are going to do, if they become a reality and they become a very strong state, we are going to see a mad move like Putin is doing in Ukraine today, whereby they will first absorb every surrounding ethnic people that they already claim them as Igbo. They will absorb them. When they absorb them, do you think that is where they will stop? They are going to extend their eyes forward. They want to conquer more land. So there need to be a synergy whereby we are able to put up a resistance. Yes, we are at the forefront in battlefield with them. We are the one facing them directly, trying to. Do you know how many times I've been insulted, threatened? If I begin to post my DM to you, you will be surprised. Somebody just this morning, I still woke up to see some
stream of the region that some people call Anioma. There was and the factor is the slavery factor. Now, Igbos were mostly enslaved from Benin all the way through to the banks of the River Niger, and they were sold by the Aro people. Aro people were the middlemen who used to sell them to us. And in certain parts of the region, the slaves outnumbered the indigents. And the indigents, of course, would take some of these slaves as women and wives and whatnot. So due to that, the language influenced the indigenous languages that were there. So it's another point that we should make. It's another point that needs to be can't be ignored. The same thing happened in Opobo, for example, and places like Bonny, where the slaves outnumbered the indigents, and the indigenous languages were kept secret from them. Because in Agbo, where I'm from, for example, we have the Agbo language, and then which is known to us, and then there's the trade language, which is the Ika language, which is influenced by their language. And why is that? Because it became a medium of communication, that has influenced by theirs. So there's no single language in Ika land. You'd find that in most of the places, there's the indigenous language, and then there's the trade language. A bit like how Hausa is a trade language for all of the North, but the different people have their own languages. So slavery was another factor that people tend to not want to talk about because it might offend some, but I don't really care for the sensibilities of the expansionists. Yes, that's just what I wanted to touch on. I hope I didn't bore you too long.
That's a tough one. So you're saying I want to do a follow-up, but I want to do a follow-up, but I would rather keep quiet.
Do you hear that evil laugh in the background?
I'm going to keep quiet now.
So Agbo, we've always thought of where is Dennis Osadebe from?
He's from Asaba area.
Okay, but he was considered Igbo, right?
Well, he self-identified as such. But in every political system, there are always quisling characters who would be selfish enough to kiss up to those who are their oppressors. So if you ask me, he was a quisling character. He was Igbo by convenience, if you ask me.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that contribution.
Nuisance, Lele. Did they hear him? This is what probably they heard from their own parents. Disjointed, drunkards, gist, or talks. Of course, just like other part of the places make up the southern part of Nigeria today, slave trade. You know, people they call the Ologun. These are the people who have more than 20 slaves and all of slave trade. In the east, in what is today's eastern part of Nigeria, Igbo land, of course, those who are famous in that trade were the Arochukwu, the people of the Aro, until when the slave trade and the rest of that was abolished. But did you see how they tried to twist the story there? The Benin people were buying Igbos as slaves. The Igbos, right, now, they are now more than the Benin people. The slaves they are more populated than the people that bought them. And therefore, the the slaves and their languages now took over the languages of the people that bought them. And they were supposed to be discussing restructuring Nigeria. And one of them said, the reason why people must stop the Igbos, because the idea is, oh, the Igbos want to claim everywhere. And you see that impression, right? It is not just only stupid. It is also dangerous if you know the story of Nigeria and how the politically created fake states you have today. I think we've covered the story that led to that genocidal war and then the aftermath, where many people have to deny their own Igbo connection, the Igbo ancestry, simply because it was concluded that that's the only way they will be protected from what Nigeria will still likely do to the Igbos. When you hear the word Yoruba, do you think we speak the same accent? Do you think we are monolithic, like the Yorubas are one that we say? Do you really think like all of us are actually, we all came from the same source? Is that what you believe? And when they talk about the Igbos, do you think they just have one monolithic, one Igbo, that this is the language of Igbo? Is that what you think? But yeah, you are. Some people are so worried that if the people are actually given the opportunity to choose without them being targeted, profiled, or even killed, do you really think all other tribes within that space called the Igbo land, the place we call Yoruba land today, you have Egba land within the space, you have Ijebu land within the space, you have the Oyo kingdom within the space, you have the different other tribes who are, on our own. But because we share proximity, we share language enough that we can understand ourselves. The rest of all the other things were just to make us believe that if we share all of this together, then we can actually be a country. But yet, some of you think if you are speaking a different accent from Owerri, or you are speaking a different, but you are speaking Igbo, Abi, so it is the Igbos that are trying to come and claim you. Nobody needs to claim you. If you remove the fear that created you, because today you hear somebody said, even me, somebody said it in the comment, even me from Rivers State, I'm afraid of the Igbos. Why? Why are you afraid of the Igbos? Because your criminal politicians or probably your criminal leaders told you that they were coming to dominate you. And then you never ask them, how are they going to dominate me? Like, please tell us. They want to control everything. Like, how? Maybe if you ask them, how, you will realize that it is all coming from the position of the same thing, hatred, jealousy, something they didn't tell us. They didn't tell us. It doesn't make any sense. So one of them said, if they don't stop the Igbos, they will claim all the land.